How to open a vintage retail store from scratch. I'm going to give you 3 critical principles that's going to help you start a retail store no matter where you're at in the world, no matter where you're at in society. So let's get right into it. By the way, hit the subscribe button to get content just like this coming at you every single week. I post on Tuesdays and Thursdays religiously. So let's get right into it. The number one thing is to understand the power of retail versus e-commerce. Retail, I believe, will be here for hundreds of years because people like a great shopping experience. People like to, call their friends, hang out with their family, and go to a place where they can not only eat, but also shop together. So the experience of shopping will always be there in my belief. Now, e-commerce is still huge too. I mean, over 15% of all sales are happening online. The other 85% of all retail sales are happening in store. So the bulk of all retail sales are still happening inside of shops, physically. So you're in a good spot by opening a retail store or thinking the way you're thinking about opening a retail store. What else? All right. The first thing you need to have is a great lawyer, and a lawyer that specializes in retail leases, not just any lawyer or a lawyer that say that they could do this job of representing you when going up against a landlord. Now, there can be lawyers that can help you, but inevitably they're going to make mistakes. The first thing you got to have when in your lease with negotiating with the landlord is a good guy clause. A good guy clause makes sure that you have no personal liability with the lease. Now that guarantees that if you can't pay the rent each month, the landlord can't come for your personal assets, right? So that's critical because if you can't pay the rent and the landlord comes for your personal assets, then you will go bankrupt and your credit will go down. So another thing with the good guy clause is that it allows you to not be liable for the full length of the lease. If the full length of the lease is 10 years, you can negotiate with the landlord to be liable only for a year of that 10-year lease or 6 months of that 10-year lease. That will help you a great deal just in case you can't pay the rent. Because guess what? Shit always happens, and you want to be prepared just in case shit always happens. So that's number one with a lease. Number two is with a lease is that try to negotiate for the longest term lease with the good guy clause. And the reason why I say that is because let's say you negotiate for a 3-year lease, and let's say rents in that neighborhood double or triple. For instance, if you're paying $3,000 a month for 3 years, and then all of a sudden rents in that neighborhood go to $8,000 or $9,000 a month, when your lease expires, the landlord will expect for you to pay $9,000 a month. And you're going to say, I don't want to pay $9,000 a month. So to avoid that, make sure you have a long-term lease, obviously with that good guy clause. Number 2, you really want to pick a great location for a retail store. Now, what makes a location great? Well, you want to have good stores in the community. You want to have all the stores should be occupied. You really don't want to have vacant stores in the community you're looking to rent a retail space at, because that means that the businesses aren't making money in that particular community. So therefore, the chances of you making money in that community is going to be very low. Number 2, you need to make sure that the demographic of people in there have a high per capita income. If people are making $10,000 a month, then I don't think your store will survive over there. So if the per capita income of people are like 50,000 to 150,000, you know that people have money or disposable income that will allow them to buy clothes and allow them to buy accessories and can allow them to just take their time and shop in your store. But if they don't have that, then it's going to be very difficult to survive. Another thing is make sure that you have good transportation in that neighborhood, because people can get in and out of that neighborhood. Now, some people do have cars, so I guess it depends on where you're at in America. But nonetheless, if a bus is nearby, then that's better. So I think that pretty much wraps up what's happening, or how you know if a community is good. What else we got here? Number 3, select categories in your store that's in high demand. So don't sell categories that's not in high demand. Like, for instance, I know that Levi jeans are in high demand. I know a retailer that only sell Levi jeans, and they sell them for a premium. We're talking $200 a pair, $300 a pair. Now, people love Levi jeans. Now, she's in an area where people make over $200,000 a year, so they can afford to pay $300 for a pair of jeans. So that retailer has picked a neighborhood that's a good community, high per capita income, and she has a product that's in high demand. So this is the type of products you want to have in your store. Do not sell products that's not in high demand, like selling a bunch of, let's say, old tape recorders just because you can get them for free and because you think people are going to buy them. No, research whether or not people are going to buy the products you're going to have in your store. And lastly, you always want to have a source where you're going to buy. You always want to have multiple sources on where to buy wholesale clothing at. Never just have one wholesale account on where to buy your wholesale clothes at, because just in case that wholesaler doesn't or can't supply you with wholesale clothes anymore, then you won't be able to sustain your business. Your business will go out of business because of that one client. It's like if you have a business and you have one client who's supplying 100% of your business. If that one client stops paying you for your services, then you go out of business. So the same thing applies, just a little different. So just be sure to have 2, 3, 4, 5 wholesalers, just in case the one wholesaler go out of business. And lastly, do it now and don't hesitate. It'll work out well for you. And on that note, check out my other video where I discuss how to start a retail store. Until the next time, peace.